Hello, everybody. Welcome to the meeting. I'm about 5 minutes in and early just to make sure that everybody is going to be able to get in here okay and whatnot. So, good morning. Okay, cool.
Even in the just tell me this ain't how it is, that it's gonna be alright. Oh, tells me you're still here, singing all my doubt and all my fear. Oh, hear you loud and clear, say it's gonna be alright. Yeah, it's gonna be alright. Even in the dead of night, I can see a glimpse of light, just enough to come alive. I know it'll be alright. Tells me you're still here, sitting over my doubt and over my fear. Hear you loud and clear, say, yeah, it's gonna be
Hi, Phoenix.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
Good. Asking. I'm glad you're here.
I had to set my alarm. I was like, you need to be up an hour before you're normally up.
It's been kind of tough. Like if you don't work, you know what I mean? Like if right now some of us are working, and so like sleeping in is like getting a little bit more easier.
Mm-hmm. Well, me and my husband, we work from home, but he works Saturday through Wednesday. So he's usually in our bedroom working. So I was like, you gotta go so that I can be in the bedroom. He's like, I'll be in the living room today.
Oh gosh. We're kicking him out and he's working.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the kitchen Monday through Friday, so I feel like
that's your
I should be able to be in
workspace.
the
It's not like
bedroom.
where you do your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This came super fast. The Thoughts Create Power for
Like you got
Finance.
yours, like the next day, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
And I've been like thumbing through it.
Good. Yeah, I need to order mine. I haven't gotten one. Brina has, she told me about that, and I definitely wanted to get it, but I didn't get it. I need to.
I'm going to order the healing one next.
Yeah. I'm going to give everybody a few more minutes. I set up this meeting.
It didn't even ask me for a password.
It did it?
I clicked from the link though.
In the group?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Maybe that's why. I wonder. I hope nobody has any problems. Let me go look and see really quick, just in case. I don't see anything, so I'm just waiting. Can you hear the music, Phoenix, or no?
I can.
Okay. I figured it would be nice to hear a little bit of music while we're waiting. Okay, let's see. I can also.
I just messaged Jackie. I was like, don't forget about part 2.
I know, she's like the head person, like, yeah, are we doing it? And then she's always late.
Mm-hmm. I was speeding back because I made a decision last night. I was like, I really want to help out with nurses and stuff because I have family that are in the healthcare profession.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I'm going to sew masks. And then I was like, my sewing machine is in Georgia. So I bought a brand new sewing machine.
Did you?
Went out, bought a whole bunch of fabric.
Good for you, girl.
Yes.
Good for you. But you know,
so I have this
what state are you in again?
Arizona.
Okay. I don't know if you guys have the same rules there, but now our governor just told us that we need to wear masks all the time when we go out.
Yep, we have to.
Yeah.
So I was at Joann's yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I had never seen a line at Joann's before until yesterday.
No.
And they were only letting 10 people in at a time. They were doing 60% off fabrics because so many people in line were trying to make masks for our local hospitals and then for themselves.
Yeah.
And then a nurse that was behind me, she was like, yeah, the hospital that's closest to there is completely out of N95s.
Yeah.
And so what they're doing is the furnace filters, the one that is like the MERV 1900,
Mm-hmm.
the amount of dust and stuff and amount of, it can protect for viruses and bacteria. So they're making these pockets to put in them.
Oh,
so
wow.
she sent me the link. I was like, well, I'll make masks. I mean, they can't be that hard. I mean, it's basic sewing. It's not like some complicated thing.
Right.
So yeah, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna set up my sewing machine, and I'm going to be making masks. I think I could probably do like 100 a day.
Oh,
So I
dang,
feel
that's
like
good.
I
You know,
could.
it's funny that you said that
They're
because
gonna be
actually
Disney themed
I have
because
that in the study, you know, because it's great when you want to give back to like the medical community, but people are wanting to like purchase them right now, you know, everyday people. And so there, that's a little side hustle that you can do just for, you know, people that are having to
yeah,
go outside and whatnot.
I've had like several people, they were like, because I went and bought a sewing machine. They're like, do you know how to sew? I was like, yeah. I mean, I'm a
Wow.
little rusty, but yeah. And they were like, well, if you're selling them, let us know. We'll buy them. I was like, okay. I think it's like $4 or $5. I was like, sure. And
Yeah, and girl,
there's no
yeah,
more.
get your investment back at least. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So
there's no more elastic anywhere in town. But a lady was like, what I do is I sew a little extra fabric, and then I
Mhm.
put hair ties, like the ones you can get at the dollar store, like 15 for $1.
Mhm.
And then I flap it over so that it already has a whole loop, and she's able to get everything taken care of.
Heck yeah, that's good stuff. Good morning, Rena. Good morning, Luz.
Morning. I'm gonna go grab my coffee, so I'll be on mute and put the video off for a minute.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go grab my coffee.
Okay. I'm gonna grab a water actually too. I'll be right back, ladies. A few more minutes.
Hi guys.
Jackie, I was worried about you, girl.
I know I was we were cleaning and then I made some food. So
I was like, let me text her. Don't forget part 2.
mhm. How are you?
Girl, I'm good. I was telling her that I had it on my heart to help the medical community, and I had a little extra money, so I bought a sewing machine yesterday, and I'm gonna make masks today.
Oh yeah, nice.
So I'm excited.
Does she know me?
Say hi, Phoenix.
Hi, Phoenix.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
I'm trying to figure out why I'm so.
I know you can't see me.
I cannot. I'm trying to figure out why I'm so dark.
Oh, there we go. Hi, Luz.
Morning.
Miss Luce was putting on her makeup. She was trying to look cute.
I'm like, these poor ladies, I'm over here trying to be inspirational and look a hot mess.
Oh, I do it all. I do it all the time. Hi, my cousin.
Hi. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see.
Are you on your work computer again? Hi, baby.
Hi.
Who is this? All right, ladies, we're gonna go ahead and get started, and we're gonna let the people come in as they need to come in, just like before, always, always. How is everybody?
Good.
Doing okay? Are we doing better? This it's only been a few days, but are we doing better? Luz, do you feel like you doing a little bit better than before?
Yeah, a little bit better, yes.
That
Completely
doesn't
there,
sound
not
very
yet.
convincing.
I feel like this
No,
whole
I am
pandemic is
better,
so
but
ridiculous.
I am doing better, but
but I just I have like insomnia at night, so that's a little difficult. And so I have to really dig and see like if I'm like subconsciously worrying about something, because I really try not to.
Yeah.
And then of course, I worry for Frank being out there, and then he comes home and, we're here, and it's just like, ugh. I really haven't listened like to any like news things or anything like that. I'm like so over that. I'm just like, Lord, just let it just protect us, be with us, and we'll be careful. You know what I mean? I think I was like that from the beginning, because I knew that it was just going to be overwhelming. I knew people were going to be like,
yeah,
all going to catch it. We're all going to die. And
I think even I posted the one post, it was a while back, that just said like be prepared, because they were telling us that it was going to get worse before it got better. And I think that just sometimes, and that was one of the messages that I put out at one point was, if we at least are expecting, for things to kind of like, we know what's going on, as opposed to not knowing anything and then like, boom, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so at least just kind of knowing that, hey guys, yes, it's bad. It's going to get worse. It's, you know what I mean? But we're good. We're going to stay protected. We're going to stay encouraged. We're going to stay, in our word as much as possible. We're going to stand our ground. We're going to stand on faith as much as possible. And really keep our eyes focused on God and, that way. So, I mean, it's that's what I always said too. It's a little bit like a roller coaster. I think in many ways, where one day you might feel like, dang, I'm doing good, I'm doing fine. And the next day you're like, whoa, like, it's real. And that's normal.
Yeah.
I feel like this morning.
I think that's an important thing to remember.
This morning I woke up and, I was in a good mood. Everything was all good. I did a one-on-one with 2 girls yesterday. And just kind of like, slowly woke up, and it was just like Josiah was in this, panic mode, I think, you know what I mean? And it just rubbed off. It felt like it just manifested in my home, and I just felt like no peace. He made valid points as far as like, there was just a birdie in his ear a few days ago in regards to us not taking this serious enough. Going to my grandma's house is a problem. Going out to the grocery store is a problem. Everything is going to be crazy, and just kind of speaking all this stuff. And I was just like, and he's like, and apparently, you're not freaking out about it. And I said, of course not. Like, I've been in my word since it all started happening. You know what I mean? Like, I have been covering myself and my family and my home for the past 3 weeks right now. And just reading and nothing, honestly, to me, nothing's changed. Like, I feel really at peace with God to where like my life has not changed. If anything, it's gotten better during this time, because I've had so much time with other people and one-on-ones. I'm getting so engaged rather than discouraged, like I'm encouraged, not discouraged. And then, he's just like, well, look at this house. We got to clean this. We got to disinfect that. We had everybody over here. Like, I don't want anybody here. And I was just like, dang, Lord, like, this is what, people are really freaking out for. And you know what I mean? Like, it's overwhelming. And I kind of got emotional because I was just like,
yeah. And I think you got to speak on coming from a spirit of wisdom, as opposed to, a spirit of panic. We've got to be wise about what we're doing right now. I mean, that's the most important thing, is to be wise in all of these decisions. Be wise when we're going out, follow the protocols as much as possible, but have wisdom in that, not panic, I mean, don't get me wrong. I look at Nando, and Nando's on the front line too. He's like Frank and people that are out there and have to be out there. Where, I get the comfort of my home right now. And I really want to pray him up. I just tell him every day, be careful, babe. I said, and like when I was in the health industry, they told us when we touched clients or anything, just to assume that everybody had HIV, assume that everybody had, AIDS or hepatitis or anything like that, so that you're cautious all the time. And so I just told Nando, I said, babe, you just got to assume that everybody has it right now, and just be cautious when you're out there. Wash your hands, stay 6 feet away, things of that nature. But, you just need to have wisdom about it and try to calm his spirit of panic, and also know that does come in waves. I think we've all kind of experienced some kind of like either anxiety or panic about the situation a little bit,
And I'm sitting there and I'm crying. I was crying, and I was just like, a thought came into my mind, like, why now, God? Like, why do we have to deal with this, like, worry about a sickness, like a whole nation, worldwide sickness, And I was just like, at such a time as this, and I just cried, and Nayeli just came and creeped up out of nowhere and was just like, Mom, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Dad. Do you need help?
I'm feeling it today, guys, that's for sure. But my house smells like bleach and everything's disinfected, so hallelujah.
I want to go ahead and get started, guys. Who wants to open us up in prayer? Amanda?
Sure, I'll open us up. Heavenly Father, we come to you today, Lord, and we ask that you put your hands over this group of ladies and gentlemen, and Lord, you give Leah the words that you want her to speak to us today, Lord Jesus. Lord, I know that the pressure of what's going on in the world right now is kind of heavy on a lot of homes, Lord Jesus, if not every home, Lord, and I ask that you help us find the words in the scriptures, Lord, to ease our minds and to let us know what we need to do as children of God, Heavenly Father. I ask that you just go before us and you calm our spirits, Lord Jesus, and you calm our homes, Lord Jesus, and you just let us be wise about this entire situation, Lord Jesus. I ask that you take away our fear, Lord, and you just continue to guide us through this whole COVID-19, Lord, and we ask that you let us just do a deep dive into your word, Lord Jesus, and kind of forget about what's going on in the world, Lord Jesus, right now, and just let us focus on you, Lord. I thank you for letting us come together today, Lord Jesus, to make this meeting. And I just ask that you continue to be with us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, guys, it's only been a few days since we last met, but I know that some of you guys already got the book that Reina had recommended. Phoenix, you're one of them. Jackie, I think you said yours is on the way.
I got the Kindle for the healing one. I just started reading that this morning.
Okay, cool.
It's a good one.
Cool. How's the affirmations been going?
It's been going really well.
Me too. Every day I made Nayeli say them today with me.
Good. Has anybody, does anybody have a testimony even about that? It's only been 3 days, but does anybody have anything to just kind of say on that?
So I do. So in my household, Maya, his job is for Costco concierge.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as Costco's open, he has a job. But I'm in the automotive industry, and so as more and more states do the shelter in place and less drivers are out there, there's less work for us to do because I work with the claims department.
Mm-hmm.
So I had applied to work at Target, and it's a warehouse job. I was like, okay, God, I'm going to get this job. I got the job. I said, wealth is going to come to me easily. I did my orientation yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And originally they were like, we're going to be making $15.50 an hour. Your shift that you have is an extra $2.50 an hour. Plus we're going to give you $2 more just for working.
Ooh,
You'll
girl.
be able to do half shifts if you want to work more hours. And I was like, okay, all right, God, I have a number. This is what I want to do. When I get this number, I'm good. So I've literally been saying these affirmations over my family and everybody to have it. Like I was able to find an account I didn't even remember that I had, so I could buy a sewing machine to make masks, to make more money. I was just like, okay, all right, we're doing
That is really, really, really good, Phoenix. That's amazing. That's good stuff. And you see, that's how you can start to change your life. You can start to change your life. You can start to change what's in front of you. My son is he is away at boot camp right now, and he's done with the boot camp part, but now he's at what's called AIT, and he's supposed to be going through his educational, learning his job and whatnot. But they have that base like on lockdown, and so what's really sad about that is a lot of those soldiers are really depressed because they won't let them do anything. And so he just hit me up and said, Mom, I'm really sad. Like I said, son, you got to be encouraged right now. And if everybody around you is negative, and if everybody around you is, in a bad way, you've got to be that difference. You've got to be that positive force that is speaking out to these soldiers. And I just told him, I said, son, as much as possible, be in your word, be watching, something that's going to inspire you. And he called me today and said, Mom, I watched Crazy Faith with Michael Todd. And he says that, he gave me kind of the rundown on it. I was really happy about that. So that was a good thing for me. Not related to this, but I just told him the affirmations, you've got to start speaking positive things to change your circumstance, whatever circumstance you're in right now. So I told Reina, and I hit her up specifically, but I decided to go live in my boudoir photography group, and I decided to offer a sale of things that I just had around, like some inventory things that I just had around the house. And I specifically set it out for my existing customers. I stayed on for about 30 minutes on that live, and I was able to make $650 within 30 minutes. And so anytime too, guys, it's really important that,
awesome.
yeah, anytime you receive that money too, make sure that you're mindful and say thank you, and that you're mindful and that you appreciate it, okay? Anytime that you receive it, it doesn't make a difference if it's the littlest amount or a big amount. You got to have gratitude about it all. You know what? Thank you, you know, and then just continue your affirmations on a regular basis, okay? All right, guys, well, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right in to being aware. So Reina had finished us out that last time about manifestations, okay? And so that has to go with that first thing in the morning when we get up, that what we're speaking, how we're setting our day. We have to be intentional about that. Being intentional is everything, guys. If you're not intentional, things can get chaotic. They can get away from you. Time can get away from you. Your day can get away from you. Your thoughts can get away from you. So you have to be very intentional about your day, your morning, you know, what you're doing. I think, Jackie, you put up a post the other day, was like, this is what I'm going to knock out. And I was like, there you go. Like, you know what I mean? Especially right now while we have all this time. And I'll be honest, like, I am used to kind of getting up at a certain time, going throughout my day, talking to my clients, getting into my sessions. And because I don't have that right now, I'm kind of like all over the place. But Reina had set me up with a calendar at one point, just like a Google Calendar, guys, where you can set specific times and organize your time to do specific tasks. And that's really important, right, guys? I think Reina can attest to that. Like, just having, she's very on top of her time too. And her time is very valuable. And so she will be like, hey, gotta go. I got something else to do. And I always try to honor that time, you know, because I know that her time is valuable. And as it is, should be for all of you guys. So what we're going to talk about is being aware of our current situation. And like I said last time, yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, you're cutting out so bad. It's so weird, but you can hear me okay? You keep freezing and then you're cutting out, so I can't hear a lot of the things sometimes. I don't know what it is. I just asked Jason to check my internet.
Yeah.
Amanda
No,
said
it's
that
happening with me too. Yeah, I can hear you, Reina. Yeah.
I wonder if it has to do with anything that, like, there's so many more participants using Zoom right now. I wonder if that could be it, possibly. I don't know. We could always try to get out and go back in.
On my call.
You're not cutting out
on
for
my meeting too. It's something up
with Zoom, maybe. I can hear you
maybe,
pretty
yeah.
good though.
My meeting.
Okay, well, let me know, Reina, if you need to even come out and then come back in. Maybe I don't know. But let me know if it, you know.
Okay, I may try that. I may try that, but I wanted to share something. What you said was so important. Just being thankful of the money that comes in. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try to go out and then come back in.
Okay. And Amanda, if you want to try that too, I'm not sure if that's going to work or not, but it could. Let me make sure I can get you guys back in here.
Okay.
You in? Phoenix, you got good connection, don't you?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
haven't had any problems.
Okay. Luce, you good?
Yeah, for a little bit at the beginning, it was like that. It was cutting out for me, but it's been good now.
Okay. Okay, guys, we're just gonna wait for Reina and Amanda just to jump back in really quick, but
I like this photo, Jackie.
Yeah, girl, you're gonna see it the whole conversation.
she was like, I better choose one that you guys like. You guys, while we're waiting on them, go ahead and open up your word to Romans 13:7. I think we kind of ended there, or maybe I just gave that scripture to you guys last time and maybe we didn't look at it, but I want you guys to open up to Romans 13:7. Amanda, we're opening up to Romans 13:7 right now.
Okay.
Somebody read it when you get there.
You said Romans 13:7?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and actually, go ahead and even start up at 6.
For the same reason you pay taxes, for the civil authorities are official servants under God, devoting themselves to attending to this very service. Render to all men their dues, pay taxes to whom taxes are due, revenue to whom revenue is due, respect to whom respect is due, and honor to whom honor is due.
So that was Romans 13:7. And Reina, you can chime in now if you want to just kind of go back to intentions. I think you were going to talk about that.
Oh yeah, something that you said was so important. You said to be thankful for everything that comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I started this new thing. I'm actually taking my affirmations a little bit farther.
Yeah.
And I'm doing something. Remember I told you with the whole secret thing, and I'm getting money every day, like fake money, but I'm spending it every day. The idea is just to speak these affirmations. So it gives me like a list of affirmations, but it says, it opened my eyes to something because it has a list, and it says, list your manifested money. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm not bringing anything in. I'm not seeing anything like really come in. I'm seeing like my husband just lost $2,000 in money or whatever. But then, so a while back before the whole COVID thing, I had to pay $800 for a class that I had to take. Well, now that it's gone virtual, the other day I just saw $700 pop up in my bank account. They refunded me the $700.
Wow.
And so the class is now only $99, but it was $800. And before I'd be like, it was my money anyway to begin with. But it says specifically a refund, even if it's a $2 refund that you got back, it's still money that is coming back into your account.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, okay. So then, I noted that, and I was like, oh man, so anyway, just being thankful and seeing the flow of money, like it's still there. Money, again, it doesn't evaporate, it just keeps going like that.
And you guys, that's so important, like so important. I can't tell you how important this part is. I also read this book. It's called Get Rich Lucky Bitch. So that's what it's called. But it's an amazing book, guys. And in this particular book as well, it talks about the same thing. She says, go, and she goes, and be aware of any type of money that you have coming in. She goes, I don't care if you find it in your sofa and it's $2. Be thankful, because what does the word also say about starting with the little things, right? Mm-hmm. Where we start, like if we're starting with little things and he says he can't trust us in those little things, then how is he going to be able to give us those big things? Right. And so I think in all of these things, we're being like tested. Okay, well, are you going to be thankful and grateful for that $2? Or are you going to let those pennies fall to the ground? Right. Like, are you going to, be thankful for everything that you receive. And just like she said, it doesn't make a difference how it comes in. It's important to give thanks for those particular things. That's amazing. I love it. Love it. Love it. So affirmations are going good. That's good. Manifestation, keep manifesting, keep writing those things down. Write those things down of which you want to see. Okay. Write
And
those things down.
And yeah, and also be mindful that a manifestation starts as something as simple as an idea. And I heard
Yes.
you, Phoenix, say you got an idea to start getting a sewing machine, to start making masks. I mean, that's a huge manifestation, and that's going to turn into finances, to money. It's going to transform into money.
And yes, and that too, it doesn't only have to come in the form of money. It can be an idea, but that idea that you have can be a huge money-making idea. Okay, so pay attention to those things, guys, especially right now. If your mind starts going and you get this like, oh my gosh, I should do that, then do it. Now's the time to do it for sure. Turn to Matthew 22. And it's verse 21. Somebody read it to me. I'm so excited, guys. So you know what's so funny? Let me tell you something really quick while you guys are looking there. Almost like every 5 or 3, I don't know, however, like every 3 to 5 years, something happens to one of my Bibles. Last time my Bible was stolen from in my car, I think they must have thought that it had because it had like a pretty little case, and so somebody may have thought money could have been in there, or it was like a purse or something like that. I don't know, but it was stolen, and I was like, man, I guess somebody just really needed that highlighted book more than me. And this time I have a picture of it, and I fixed a lot of the pages. I don't know if you guys can see, but my dog went through and he chewed up a whole bunch of my pages. And some of it I can't even read anymore. And so I always feel like God is, well, I shouldn't say always, but I kind of felt like God is trying to get my attention again, making it fresh and making it new. And so I ordered a new Bible that is really colorful, and I ordered some new pens and highlighters, and I'm just excited to get back in there and re-highlight some of the things that were kind of old to me, but are going to be new. Somebody read it to me.
They said to him, Caesar's, and he said to them, render therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God things that are God's.
Yeah, so that's number 2, confirmation, okay? Somebody turns to Proverbs 6:1 and read it to me. Just so you guys know, you might want to leave a little bookmarker in Proverbs, because throughout this lesson, we're going to go back to Proverbs a lot. Proverbs 6:1.
Leah, which one was the one? What was Matthew? Matthew
22:21.
Okay, just so I can mark it.
And Proverbs 6:1. Somebody read it when you get there.
My son, if you have put up securities for your neighbors, if you have shaken hands in pledge for a stranger, that was 6:1, right? Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, go ahead. No, keep reading it. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. You have been trapped by what you said, ensnared by the word of your mouth. So do this, my son, to free yourself, since you have fallen into your neighbor's hands. Go to the point of exhaustion and give your neighbor no rest.
Oof.
Allow no sleep. Oh, you want me to keep going?
Go to the point of exhaustion, guys. That's do what you got to do to make this debt go away. Okay, work to the point of exhaustion if that's how you have to make it go on. So biblically, debt is no good. Okay, it's saying if you've put your name out there, you've gotten yourself into that agreement, you need to abide by that agreement as much as possible. Okay, and it says don't rest. Put yourself to the point of exhaustion. Don't rest until you do. So debt. We're all at different situations right now, guys. And again, this is a vulnerable spot for some. For others, they feel very comfortable about talking about this. But it's important that we are aware of our situation right now. Okay. The main principle of what Dave Ramsey preaches, of what I'm going to tell you guys right now, that we're going to be working on, is paying down debt. Okay, if you have it. Creating some sort of cushion or savings, and I'm going to challenge you guys in that to start small, and then we're going to start getting bigger, okay? And then we're going to take it in steps, and Dave Ramsey takes his in steps as well, okay? But the very first thing that we need to look at is our debt, okay? We also need to look at how we spend. Those are the two things that we really need to look at right now, okay? the overall snowball effect, okay, the way that it works is that if you have debt, you're going to look at all of those things, you're going to list them down on a piece of paper. You're going to take the debt with the highest interest and you're going to knock that one out first. You're going to make the minimum payments on all of the others. Okay, Jackie, you worked on this with me.
Yeah, so what I did is about 5 years ago, I started the snowball effect, and I had things in collections, I had credit cards, I had a student loan that I've been paying on for like 10 years or something, and never was really intentional on paying it off. It was just keeping it afloat. That's all it was. And so I was paying minimum balances on everything, and then I would just keep charging and charging. And then finally, when I started knocking things out using the snowball effect, I started going from my lowest debts to my highest, and I started paying off just chunks and chunks, and started paying off all my little bills, my ankle biters, and I cut up all my credit cards. So I have one credit card that I leave at home for emergencies, and then I saved up my $1,000 emergency fund. And then right now I just got rid of my student loan that was like $9,000.
Yes, girl.
Yeah, I just took everything from my tax.
And prior to that, she had a
returns.
hospital bill that she paid off. So I want to celebrate that because that's huge. She had a hospital bill. Then she did her student loan. She's working on her 401k. She's got her emergency plan in set. So there's some really good things. Now, I will tell you guys right now, I do not follow the Dave Ramsey principles to the T because I do have a credit card. I do use points a lot, and he like doesn't recommend that at all, but I take advantage of those points. I don't keep typically I do not keep a running balance on my credit cards. I pay them off every single month. Okay, so if I spend, I pay them off because I don't like that thing hanging over my head. Okay. Also, what Jackie had said, another way that you can do it, okay, and it really depends on the interest rates of your accounts, is you can start, like if you owe, I don't know, $700 to a card, whether it's a Walmart card, whether it's a Lowe's card, whatever you have, sometimes it's more beneficial and it is more rewarding to start with those littler balances and get them knocked out because you feel more accomplished as you're doing it. Okay.
Yeah, it definitely encouraged me. The more that I got the hang of it, of paying something off, the more influenced I was on myself and intentional with paying off more debt. So it was literally it was a domino effect on me too. So
yes, love it. You guys, it's important to get out of debt for so many different reasons. First and foremost, exactly what we're going through right now. Some people are comfortable, okay, because they were financially smart, they have big income coming in, or whatever the case may be, but the majority of people are hurting right now, okay? They're hurting, they don't know how they're gonna make it, they're living a little bit anxious, all of these feelings start to come up. So exactly what we're going through, a pandemic, an emergency, something that is out of our control, okay, is why we need to be prepared and why it's so important to live debt-free as much as possible. Many of us grew up with the idea that being in debt was normal. Okay, I grew up like that. My parents were forever financing and buying and refinancing their home. Right before my dad passed away, guys, my mom and him had just refinanced the whole amount of their home. And he passed away, and his income was the main income. She worked a retail job from 9 to 5. And when that happened, she lost the house because of it, and I don't know if that was my turning point for me, seeing that, she sold my dog, she had to move to Georgia, she had to sell her home, but I was like, I never want to be that reliant on credit, or even my husband. I hate to say it like that. Don't get me wrong, he's my partner and we work together, but I never want to be that reliant where if something like that were to happen, that I couldn't keep us afloat.
Okay. Have you guys, something that really helped me mentally is the analogy, the penny chart. Do you guys know that?
I don't.
Have you guys heard of that? Or someone's asked you?
No.
So like a long time ago, I had these mentors and they asked me, look, I'll like, if I give you 3 million up front right now, would you take the 3 million or would you invest a penny, 1 penny that will double every single day for the next 31 days? And this was so many years ago. And I was like, shit, give me that 3 million. I'll take that right now. I'm not going to sit around and watch a penny. But then when he broke it down to us at the end of the 31st day, that penny doubling every single day turned into $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something like, I mean, I swear by that, or I just see like you can't underestimate what
Compounding interest.
What the compounding interest can actually do.
Yes.
Another really good book that is like, you have to study this book. It's called Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. And he pretty much, what he did was he sat down with Ray Dalio, who is this big money investor. Like, you can't even work with him unless you have 500,000 to put up. And he sat with him and he sat with other, like Warren Buffett and all these major money investor guys. And he sat with them and he broke down their techniques for average people like us who are not rich, who are not super wealthy, but to be, to learn how to invest and do index investing. And he breaks it down for you in that book. But it's like a dictionary. It's a huge book, and I haven't got through the whole thing yet, but it's a really, really good source to have, to go back and reference.
Good stuff. I read that. I think I believe that there's Dave Ramsey has it in one of his books, The Compounding Interest, or just that kind of scenario. And then another guy, actually one of the people that's on his team, he's that black guy. I can't remember what his name is right now, but he talks about it as well in one of his books. What the heck is his name? Well, as I think about these things, guys, I'll post them. Okay. I'll post them on the page. But so yes, what we're going through right now, what's causing more panic, what's causing more fear, what's causing more anxiety, is not being prepared in a situation like this. Okay. So even businesses, okay, that have taken out, loans to support their business, or are going to have to take out a loan to support their business right now, that's really not the ideal way to run your business. It's just not. So all of these things, in fact, finance is actually one of the biggest reasons for divorce as well. Financial issues, financial, just fighting. So that's a big cause of, I think it's one of the top 3 or top 4 of divorce. So it causes stress. It steals our peace. For sure steals our peace, because we don't feel like we have a solid foundation that we're standing on. And Dave Ramsey's book, Financial Peace, talks a lot about that. So 2 of his books as well, if you guys want to reference these, is Total Money Makeover, and then Financial Peace. Okay. And these are the basic principles if you guys want to like go through it like one by one. But I will tell you, and I was going to say this a little bit later, if you guys are on Instagram right now, and if you follow Dave Ramsey, go under his profile, he has decided to give away a ton of resources and a ton of his programs right now to help Americans that are strapped right now. So go to Instagram, look under his profile. He has a link, and there's a bunch of free resources and a bunch of, it's some of his programs that he actually usually charges for that he's giving away for free right now, okay? So biblical principles explain that peace is very important, right? Mm-hmm. That's what keeps us from worrying. That's what keeps us from insomnia. That's what keeps us from anxiety, is peace. So this is the main reason, is to live in peace. That's why his book is called Financial Peace. Okay. We need to be asking God to help us in that area. Instead of coming to God when we are in sorrow or in panic or anxiety, we need to be asking him ahead of time, seeking his knowledge and seeking his wisdom in this, and ask him. Guys, don't you know that the word says that he delights in every single detail of your life? He says in James, the book of James, he says, if you ask for wisdom, I'll give it to you. Like he is ready and willing and prepared to give us whatever it is that we desire, but we have to seek it. So we need to ask him for his help, and we need to ask him before it gets to a place of anxiety and fear and panic. Because when you come in prayer like that, that's the energy that you're putting out. Okay? And that energy that you're putting out is very important, because that's what you're going to receive. I can say with my mouth one thing and be feeling in my heart, okay, a different way. But I need to get those things in control, and I need to come from a place of peace and receiving and just abundance and joy and happiness, okay? And seeking wisdom and knowledge.
If you think about it, Leah, I know if I think about it, I've never had a prayer answered when I'm in this panic, crying mode, like, oh my gosh, help me. Like, I've never had an answer. It's when I'm at complete peace and I've let it go, and I really, truly left it to God, is when the prayer is answered.
Yes.
You're just like hit with it and surprised.
So that's the main reason, guys, is peace. And he wants to be involved in every single detail of our life. Okay. He is the ultimate helper. He is the ultimate helper. So seek his help. Go to Proverbs 31:27 and read it to me.
What was it again?
31:27.
Oh, I love it.
She said, ooh, sure do.
It's one of my favorite scriptures. It says that she watches over the affairs of her household and she doesn't eat the bread of idleness.
Right. You guys, she is aware of what is going on in her household. Okay. She is aware of her financial status. She is aware of what debt, or if she carries any debt, which I doubt this woman did. Okay. But she's aware of the affairs of her household. Guys, don't get so busy. Don't get so tied in. And I'm saying this, you cannot pour into other people until you pour into yourself. So don't get so busy helping other people that by the time that you come back around, you're on empty. Okay. Watch the affairs of your house. And this house too is very important. Okay. So she was aware. She was very aware. Aware also means we probably need to understand what we're spending and how we spend it as well. We need to be aware of that. Some of us are a little bit like, you know, $2 here, $3 here, $5 here, $6 here, $15 here, not a big deal. And then we look at the overall picture, we're like, whoa, that's a lot of money. Okay. Everydollar.com, write that down. Everydollar.com is an amazing free budgeting platform that you can get on. It also tells you, once you enter in all of the things there, how you're spending, what you're spending on, where you're not utilizing your cash flow, or if like you're in the red, okay, like you guys are living above your means, you need to hone it back, okay? It gives you those dynamics. That's a free program. That is where you're going to be able to list all of your debt. You're going to be able to list what you have coming in monthly, okay, what you're expecting. And that is where you're going to allot every single dollar that you make. It is very important, guys, to allot every single dollar that you make and not to let any get away from you, okay? You need to be aware of what you have coming in, and you need to be aware of where it's going. That's going to give you more control over your finances. It's going to give you more control over what you're spending as well. Okay. So that's free. And this next week's, that's going to be your progress homework, guys, like is to go in there, enter those things in. You can decide to share it if you want to. You don't have to share it if you don't want to. That's completely okay. You can keep it private. If you want to get with myself, Irina, on a message privately as well and say, hey, I want to, to reach out to you privately, that's okay as well, okay? You need to look at your last 2 months of spending, whether it be if you do most of your spending on a credit card or if you do most of your spending on your debit card. I want you to pull up the last 2 statements of your spending, and let's get real. Okay.
So I wanted to say something about that. So I started to do that after the meeting, and me and Maya had to have like a serious conversation about my Disney habit because, and I don't mind sharing it, in 4 months I've spent about $4,000 on like Disney stuff, and I'm like, oh no, it's just like Mickey Mouse ears that are $34, or but babe, I had a coupon, so I saved like $5 when I spent like $50, and I collect like these like plushes, and I was like, every month I was spending just in one day like $250 on like Disney collectibles. These are not things that I'm like wearing. I literally have them on shelves. Like there's like 3 like sitting right there. Like each of those are $30. And I don't even use them. They just sit there and I just like looking at them. And he's like, I didn't want to tell you that you couldn't buy it because it's your money. But I was like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna have to rein this in.
And what could you have done with an extra $4,000 right now?
I could have put that toward my car note because I'm trying to get out of debt with this car. So I was like, oh.
Yeah,
but then I'm like,
I love it though that you're being aware, and now it's gonna make you a little more intentional.
Yeah, now I'm working on it's okay to let go of your Disney habit. You can get like one thing and not like the whole collection, because I'm one of those people, like if I cut myself off completely,
yes,
I'm just going to be miserable. And I don't want to be miserable because Disney brings me little joys. So I'm like, I don't need every plush. I don't really even like all the plushes. Maybe I just get 1 or 2 here or there. I don't need the ears. I can just get me like a pin.
And the other thing that you might want to think about doing, Phoenix, is if you do have that large of a collection, is to take it out. If you said that you're not doing a whole lot with it, dust it off and like maybe even just move it around your room, and look at some of the things that you haven't looked at in a while, bring some of the things out that you haven't seen in a while, and just try to enjoy them a little bit more.
Well, that's what I had to do, because I do Disney and I do Funkos. They're like little bobbleheads. I don't know if people know what Funkos are. But I realized I had duplicates because I would put them in places that I forgot that I had them, and then I go buy them again. And so like I actually started selling them to try to like recoup. And like some of them I bought, they were like when I bought them in like 2013 and 14, they're now like $40, $50 a piece when I bought them for like $10.
Heck yeah.
Put this in my money pile. Put this in my money pile because I got to get rid of some of this.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. For sure. You guys, so many people hear the word budget and they run from it. Okay. Even people that make a lot of money, they don't want to be on a budget. They're like, I don't even want to deal with that because I just want to spend what I want to spend. And so people will run away from the budget. But I'm telling you guys, if you're a little bit more intentional about your budget, you'll also start to be like, you know what? Maybe I don't need that, that bobblehead this month. Maybe I don't. If I start looking at those things and they're right in front of me, if I'm actually viewing them as opposed to just, oh, that's easy, put it on the card and I don't see it, right? I don't see those things. That same type of focus can work for you as well. What I mean by that is if you start to, I don't know how you guys get paid, but if you have a direct deposit or anything like that, and you are able to allot a certain amount of money that just comes out of your check automatically, you don't see it, okay? And it goes into a savings account that you can't touch. I make some of my savings accounts so that I can't touch it very easily. I can actually get to it, but I make it difficult. Like I can't do it transfers online with it. And especially now, that means like, it's stuck right now, unless I actually go to the bank and talk to a teller, and I don't want to do that, so I make it a little bit more inconvenient for myself. Okay.
I do that too. I have a good recommendation on one too that I do for my daughter, just so she has no idea what's in her savings. I make her transfers for her, and I do that for myself too. And it's annoying because I can't just get to it. I can't. There's
Yes.
a card for it. There's nothing. We have we have a profit share account too that we absolutely can't touch. We have to talk to our person to get anything out of it. So
Love it.
it's Barclays online. And it has one of the highest annual yield rates.
Okay.
And it's Barclay Card US. No, Barclay Card Savings. And it's super easy to set up and to set the transfers up. And I have money taken out just whatever. Like I don't see
Automatically.
it. And I can check the balances and all that, but I can't just pull it out.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That's what I need to do. Set me
So
up an
with that
account in
one, do you
California
have
that I can't go to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't hear the name.
Barclays.
Can you spell that?
BARCLAYS. It's a very simple one, and you're earning pennies. I mean, but it's still, you can't touch it. There's no debit card, and it's super easy to set up.
And you're
And do
earning
you have like
something's better than nothing.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Jackie.
Do you have like a specific amount that you put in like every single month or is it like you can edit on that too?
Your budget.
I have
be able to
a
tell you that.
specific, I have a specific amount for me that I put out, and I just have it set up to 10%.
And that's
Anytime
that's the ideal. 10%, guys, is the ideal amount to put away. I try to even shoot for 15% because Dave Ramsey at one point said if you could put between 8 and 15 being the high side, put that away. And if you're not, you guys, like, if you can get to a point, okay, and it becomes, for me, I've told a few girls this before, it becomes like a game to me. I don't know why or what happened, but I love seeing that amount go up. And I love kind of being like, man, it's there. And it also confirms that I truly do have money all around me. You know what I mean? That I have money that's accessible, that, you know, it comes to me and that it's growing and earning. When I say 15%, guys, I don't mean that I put that all into savings. I have amount of usually 15% a year, whether it's going into a 401k, an IRA, Roth, savings, things like that is kind of the majority of what I put, you know, in different places or whatnot. Jackie, that's going to be very dependent on what it is that you make, because I want to talk to you guys about that. Raina's in a different place than Jackie. Jackie, you're in a different place than Phoenix, and Phoenix, you're in a different place than me. Some of us have to right now buckle down and worry about the four walls around us right now. Okay. And we can't quite get to that point of saving yet.
I feel like there's order in that. There's order in finances for 100%. Sure. And so, you know, I would just say, just encouraging, even watching those YouTube videos on Dave Ramsey, Amanda and Phoenix is really insightful as well, like in certain circumstances. So if there's something specific, like a debt you're trying to pay, you could type it in, put Dave Ramsey on it, and something will pop up. I've done it I do it all the time, even in my car as I'm driving. But how do you feel about after paying off this debt, or during this time that you pay off the debt, do you stop your 401k? Because I know that that's one thing that he is very adamant about, is just stop investing right now until you fully have paid off your debt. And then at that time, after debt is gone, excluding your mortgage, then at that point you can go in and start applying a certain percentage for your 401k.
Yes, that's correct, Jackie. So right now, instead of like, especially right now, he'll tell you, and he talks about like, okay, stop investing right now. You know, if you're at a point, if you can still invest and you're comfortable, continue to invest. Continue to stay on the path that you're going. If you're in a tighter spot right now, then stop the investing. Just put it on a halt, but do not take from your 401k. A lot of people are cashing their 401ks out. That's going to hit them hard. It also hits the stock market hard. It continues to decline things. And it's not worth it, guys. If you actually knew how much it costed you to pull that money out, it's insane. It's like 40% or something like that.
Me and Leah literally went in on at one point when I was going to take it out, and I was like, I'm coming over and we're going to figure this out and see how much it's going to cost me to take out my 401k. So we did the numbers, and it would have taken out an additional $5,000 to $6,000 on top of
I
what
told her,
had.
I said, girl, you want to give that money away? Give it to me. I'll let you borrow some money right now. I said, and give me that money because I'll take 40%.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So like when you're talking about the 10 and the 8%, is that like before you start to budget out your bills, or is that like after you've paid your bills, whatever's left, then you do like, I'm gonna take 8% of that, that's going into savings, and whatever's left is what I truly have for myself.
Right. So let's scale it back a few just for just a second, okay? Let me just ask you guys, okay, who is in a point right now where they're just worried about their 4 walls? 4 walls being like your utilities, your house bill, your transportation, your food. Anybody? Okay, Amanda. Okay, Amanda. So let me just scale it back to that really quick before we, and then Phoenix, I'm going to address you. So Amanda, right now, that's the only thing that you need to be focused on, okay, are the 4 walls of your home. I'm not saying that you should default on your bills right now, but you need to make sure that you have a roof over your home, that you have food inside of your home, that your utilities are on, and that you have transportation as much as possible. Okay, that's what you need to focus on. And so you can't even begin to save and things like that until those things are covered. Now, Amanda, after those 4 things are said and done, do you have anything above and beyond that?
I mean, not a whole lot, but a little bit, yeah.
Okay, so that little bit, what you do have, we need to allot. You need to make sure that you're telling it what to do, otherwise it disappears. It's gone, okay? You need to be aware of how much you have left, and that's going to help you in that everydollar.com to put like, this is what I'm expecting. Here are my 4 main bills right now that I have to take care of. This is what I have left, and that needs to be allotted. Okay.
Okay.
And we'll get a little bit more into that. Okay, so the next level would be, I have enough money to pay all of my bills. Okay. I have enough money to pay all my bills, but I have debt. Who's there? Okay, Phoenix, Jackie. Okay, so loose. Okay, so what you guys?
I still have debt too.
Okay.
Rita's like, no.
Debt, like there's a breakdown of debt as well. Okay, because I have debt. I'm not completely debt free. I have my mortgage. Okay, that's what I have left. But that's pretty much it. My car notes are paid off. Like I said, my credit cards, it's a rolling thing where like I'll use it and I'll pay it off. I'll use it, I'll pay it off or whatnot. Okay. So for the people that they have their debt, okay, so you're paying all of your bills, then the extra amount of money that you have before you start putting to savings is getting debt paid off. That's the number 1 step. We cannot start saving, we cannot start investing until we have our debt paid off, okay? So you get to choose how you're gonna list that debt. If you wanna break it down, so if you have, like for me, my goal right now is, even though I'm purchasing a home, my goal is to keep paying this sucker down, double payments, so that by the time I go to sell, all of that money comes back to me and I'm able to invest that into my new home. Okay, that's my main goal right now. You guys need to look at each of those individual bills, and I can help you if you need help. You guys, ask questions or hit myself or Raina up privately and say, hey, this is the debt that I have. Where should I start? Okay, if you want to do it the way that Jackie did it, where it's a little bit more rewarding to see those little balances get knocked down, that's okay too. But we cannot start saving and we cannot start investing or anything like that until we have our debt paid off. The principle behind that is, once you get those things paid off, those payments that you were used to paying, okay, you then put them to something else, which is either going to be saving, investing, and then so on and so forth. Okay.
So right now, if it's just my car, aside from my mortgage that I'm paying, and it's $100 a month for my car, right? You're saying that take whatever amount that I put towards the student loan and the credit cards, I guess, and then start filling it up on top of that car.
That was your last one, right, Jackie? That was your car payment? So yeah, so because you were used to making whatever the minimum payment was on even that hospital loan and that, whatever you paid off, take that money Because now if you just take it and you don't allot it, you're going to start spending it.
Because that's the thing is like, I have all this money in the account, remember? Like, that's how I do it. And I don't know why, but like, Leah's like, you have all this money in the savings, you have money in your checking account, you have money all over, but like, what are you doing with it? And I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, tackle this debt, pay it like right now in front of me. And I'm like, okay, you know what I mean?
I told her, I said like, no, get on the phone right now. Like, I want to
Yes.
call. Because I didn't want her to leave and be like, okay, I'll do that later. And I was like, no, like, call.
Luz as well was like, come on, girl, like, what is going on? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I guess I sit on it, and then I wait for that rainy day, and then, you know, it's like, oh, hello, pay off your debt.
So
Go
Jackie,
away,
that's
you know?
your goal then, is to take those amounts, allot it to that car. And if you have a little bit extra, I would try to double up on your payment. So if it doesn't equal a double amount and you have extra, I would start doubling up on that payment. You guys, the being able to double up on a payment on a mortgage or your cars is huge. Nobody ever sat down with me, and Raina can attest to this too, I'm sure, being a realtor now and really understanding the numbers. No one ever sat down with me and said, look, now, while most people will think in their head a 30-day loan is great, or excuse me, a 30-year mortgage is great because my payment's going to be like this and I have 30 years to pay it off. Okay, great. At even 5% or 4%, I mean, now it's like crazy low, but nobody ever sat down with me and said, but if you can up your payment even $300 more, and I know that may be tight for you, but if I'm telling you right now, you can make it happen. We don't give ourselves enough credit to say, I can make that happen. We're like, ooh, no, that's pushing my limit. Ooh, no, that's, you know what I mean? You can do it. And you don't even have to do it through the bank. You can just, in your mind, you can break down the numbers. Some realtors will even give you, or the banks will even give you a breakdown. Like, if you do this, this is how, you know, this is how much you can actually save. Mm-hmm. Nobody ever sat down with me and did that. And so I think it was we purchased this home in 2010. And I think it was 2017. No, it had been before that. I don't remember. It was maybe 2015, that the interest rates dropped enough so that it was a benefit for me to go ahead and refinance. They say usually a full point or more for it to be worthwhile. Okay. So like if I was at a 5 and it dropped all the way down to a 4, then that's pretty extravagant. 1% doesn't seem like a lot, but 1% on thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars is. Okay. So I called the bank, I refinanced, and I refinanced into a 15-year. Okay. And it cut off, I think it was $87,000 off of my mortgage. $87,000 I would have been paying over time, okay, in over the 30 years. That in itself, guys, made my payment, my home and everything go whoop, like this. So then when I saw that, I got remotivated to be like, okay, now if I double up, I could literally have my house paid off in this amount of time. Okay.
This is all exciting. Like, I mean, I like how you describe it. Like you do, it does when you get so money focused, but on the right things. Hold on 1 second. Did you see that? It says 0 or just there's nothing due.
Did you pay them?
No. Okay. The only thing I did was your Best Buy because all the lines are busy and you don't want to let that go. So that's the only thing. Are you going?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to take you?
No, we'll go.
Okay.
So then can we just leave what I have?
Yeah. Text me, let me know if you have questions. I'm on a Zoom call right now. Bye. That was my daughter. We're doing her bills because she's been out of work for a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. So she just got paid. So I do her bills for her, and then she calls me her accountant, and then she'll come to me and see what she has. But we got a notification from her car payment, and it says like bill due, but it had 0. Like there's nothing due on it right now because of whatever. But anyway, I was just saying, I love how you say, like, when you make a game out of it. One thing I did want to touch on with Phoenix is that I'm such a I'm an extremist. I either go all the way in or I'm all the way out. I'm never anywhere in between. I have to go hard or I don't go at all or something. Like, I don't know. That's just my personality. And it's not, a lot of people are not like that. But you reminded me of back when I had to get my finances in order. This was in 2014. We sat down with mentors, and it took us 3 sittings with my mentors for me to finally say in front of my husband, all right, fine, this is what I spend. And it was like shoes, it was just material stuff. But what I had, when I got to the core of why I was spending it, it had absolutely nothing to do with having those things. It had everything to do with something that I was kind of lacking in myself. And it's so funny how that happened, but it turned like personal development that I had to work on in order to remove that habit from myself. Does that make sense?
It does. Because like
So,
I was
I mean,
Someone's hearing music outside. I just heard them.
So what were you saying, Phoenix?
Oh, I was saying that's what I kind of had to do with my Disney. I was like, it brings me joy, but then I don't remember that I have it. So is it really bringing me joy?
Temporary.
So like, I was like literally sitting here as I was looking down. I checked in on my car note like to see how much I owe, like what my total balance is,
Intention.
like to pay off my car note. And
Girl.
like, I was like, well, if I sit here, because like I owe like 18,000 left on my car, and
I owe 14.
with Maya living with me, and he's giving me 400, and then he was like, you know what, I'll give you an extra 200 to pay to the car note. Well, my rent is normally $700. I've been paying that rent forever. Like I just know what it is, and I paid off all my credit cards, which I had an extra 300. So with his 600 and my 300, that's $900 on top of the 420 that I already pay. So I was like, okay, I can do that. So if that's 900 plus the 420, so that's a 1320 payment that I pay on my car note.
And that you'll see that note go like that quick.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, well, I have this Target job, and I didn't know what I was going to do with the money. I was like, oh, I'm just going to save it. I'll just stockpile it. And I was like thinking about Jackie. I was like, look at me over here trying to stockpile money, like, but I got debt. And I was like, well, that job will give me, and that job pays weekly. They don't like to wait for the 2 weeks, so it pays weekly. And so I was talking to coworkers, and they were like, well, we get like $600 a week. And I was like, what if I just put that money to the car?
Yep.
So then I'm sitting here with an extra $1,900 $1,900, and then it's almost like 6,666, so that's 2,400 on top of the 13. I could put a car note payment of $3,720.
That's crazy.
A month.
That's crazy.
And I was like,
even if
okay,
you don't
cool.
do that much, even if you don't do that extreme, or maybe you do, maybe you find that you're more like Drena, you're gonna be like boom, 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 extreme decision, and that's great.
Well, as my mind was thinking about it, I was listening to Rena, and I was like, the Target money was never in my budget. It was never equated into any type of money, any way I broke down my money. So it doesn't impact any bill. So what, I should just throw it all in there. And I'm like, well, if I do that in my thing, because I was telling myself I want my car paid off by my birthday. Like when we're doing lists about being intentional and putting what you want, my birthday is in August. And I was like, I want my entire car paid off. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm not worried about the why. Like how Raina said, like, that's not your job to worry about the why. You're supposed to make your intention like that and just go from there. If I stick with that and I just money down, that's 5 months. That's my birthday.
Girl, you are speaking so much like fire right now.
So I was like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. This is what we're going to do. We're not going to have no problems. I was like, okay, cool.
And what
You
you're
better
doing,
tell
so that
Mickey
little,
to kick rocks. No.
that little
Mickey,
action,
I'm getting back my life back.
you guys, that little action of her being on the Zoom call right now, but looking up her car payment while she's like, that's intention, guys.
Yeah.
That's intention. That's setting forth in action. So now you're not only saying like, it doesn't just come into like, oh, I'm just thinking about it. It's like, no, let me look at this really quick and let me see what it's going to take. That's intention. Like that is like, then that turns into action. That's a desire now. She's fueling up her desire right now. And I told you guys even last time what desire turns into. It's very important to know, Phoenix, as well. I just want to touch base on this. When you're making your payment on your car, I don't know how you do it, if it's online or what, but you need to make sure that you're paying your payment, okay? And then everything that's additional goes to principal only.
Yeah, that's what the way Navy Federal is where I have it. They actually, because people were getting confused,
Yes.
they even have like a button. It's like a little slide button.
Good.
Are you making your payment? Are you just paying on principal? So like I go in and I make my payment first, and then I go back in and I slide the bar over for just straight principal.
Good.
I'm like, okay, so
Yep.
like starting this month, I can make $37.20 on my car note, and by August, I can have my title in my hands by September. So I was like, okay, cool. And I got all excited. I was like, ooh.
That's good.
Making
And that
plans.
excitement behind desire, guys, that's powerful. That's
One thing
powerful.
I wanted to share that I learned a few months ago that I feel so stupid about, but it's the truth. Like, you don't know until like you find out. Was Dave Ramsey was like, be very mindful about how many you're claiming on your taxes. Like I was claiming just me and my kids, like, right, I was doing 3, and he was like, no, he was like, my single daughter, no, at that time was not married and didn't have any kids. We calculated her checks to where it was at the end of the year, you don't get a tax return, and you're basically collecting all the money throughout the year that you deserve, right? Because you're basically giving the IRS a free interest rate loan for them to just pay it back to you at the end of the year. And she had to claim 6 in order for her to be comfortable enough to where she didn't pay at the end of the year, but yet she didn't get anything back. So I was like, are you kidding me? So like this whole entire time when was claiming 1 or I was claiming 3 or whatnot, I should have been claiming more because they were taking more money out of my checks as well. And so that money also comes into play. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So you might want to talk to your HR department and really be like, hey, I need to know how much is coming out of my check for taxes, and you know, what can I do to ensure that I'm claiming the right amount so that way I can keep my money as much as possible every single check. And that's like basically your money back every single month. That helps. So although you have a set amount on your check, you know, like $1,300 I get every 2 weeks, or $1,400 or whatever, just even making those adjustments will make such a difference. You know, you'll get an extra $100 a month, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, that just added an extra $100, you know? So I would also look into that too, just to see and make sure that you're set up correctly for what you claim.
Well, if you guys want, my mom is an auditor for the IRS, and like her thing is really about like making sure people do their taxes right. You don't want.
Girl, I got a question, and I got a question for her.
Well, I was gonna ask. I'll talk to her because she's literally just sitting at home now doing audits. That's all she does all day now. She teaches IRS officers how to audit taxes properly. So I've invited her to join the Devotional Women's. She's like, what is this? What are you trying to invite me to? And I was telling her we were doing these things. She was like, okay. She's on Eastern time, so she's actually 2 hours ahead of us right now. But I'm going to see if she'll join next time we do it. And so, like, if you guys have any questions, for she loves answering these types of questions.
I do. I have a question that's been like lingering that I really, because I have to file a K-1 for my business, and I'm struggling. I haven't actually even submitted my taxes, and just because I have this question that nobody can seem to answer for me. So
yeah,
I think we do too. We claim 0. We have always claimed 0, and we have extra taken out to pay the IRS with my husband's check. And no matter what, we never break even. We always have to pay back taxes.
Mm.
And it's so frustrating. So I want to know exactly like what we
Yeah,
should be
I'll
doing.
talk to my mom and try to set up a time she can join the thing, because she doesn't work on the weekends, obviously. So if it's one that's on the weekends, because she's really big into making sure, like my mom, I was chuckling when your daughter came in and asked how much you just, like, my mom is my money person now. She's like, you're spending a lot of money. I don't know what you're doing. I don't understand how you don't have money. I was like, Mom, I don't have money. Yeah, you have money. It's
And
somewhere
stop
else.
saying those things, guys.
I
You
know.
guys,
No, this was before. I was telling her, I was like, Mom, I don't have money. And she's like, you have money. It's at McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and all these other that's where
That's
you're
so
money.
funny. That's me with my daughter. I'm like, and she's all, Mom, I is broke. And I'm like, stop saying that. Like, don't say that. But she's jokingly, she's all, Mama, I is broke. And I was like, stop saying,
all
'cause
those little things.
Yeah.
22, she makes great money for a 22-year-old. She should not be making as much money as she makes right now, what she does. And so I help her. But when I look at it, it's, I mean, that girl also can spend. Like, she can spend. And it's like McDonald's, 7-Eleven, like all these like food.
Yeah, guys,
places.
and to get back to that, like the spending, guys, we have to be aware of what we're spending. We have to be aware. Amanda, you got it down right. The 4 walls. The other ladies were looking towards paying off debt. Okay, Amanda. The other thing I wanted to say really quick is, you also should right now, if it's that tight of a budget, also look at things that you can cut. Okay. So now would be the time, is if you can cut a few things, then cut them. If there's other bills that you can take down, you know what I mean? Some of us forget about the $15.99 because some of us have to pay it and some of us don't, for the, you know, the Netflix or something like that. Or some of us are forget about the $20 for, you know, this subscription. Go back and look at those things that you might have forgotten to turn off. Turn them off if you can right now, and then use that money as well. Amanda, like I said, if you want to get with me too, where we can set something up, I would love to help you with that. Okay, you guys, sell stuff right now. Okay, now is a perfect time while you're home. Do porch pickup, sell stuff that you have around the house. Phoenix, you said you got things that you can sell it. All of the things that she basically said right now, guys, I was going to talk to you guys about anyways. If you need extra cash flow coming in, look at what you can sell right now. Maybe you have a storage full of things that you haven't went through in forever. Maybe there's old furniture. Maybe there's, put it on the marketplace, guys. Okay, get rid of things.
Jason did that the other day. Just cleaning out the garage, but we're just cleaning. Like, that's what we do every day. We're just like cleaning right now. And he made $250 in a day just selling stuff. Yeah, I got to add that to my manifestation.
Yeah, we're just going to say, did you add that in, girl?
But
that's like
guys,
the first thing Dave Ramsey does too, is like,
I have to go because I'm going to have a call right now soon, but I just wanted to open myself up. I'm here too. Jackie, you know that, and everybody else on the call too. If you ever want to get together separately, feel free and reach out to me. Phoenix, I know you messaged me on Messenger, so if you ever want to chat just one-on-one, just let me know. I'm here. But I do work mostly on like the internal things. I like to get to the root of our problem. It's all internal at the end of the day. So that's my specialty.
Yay.
Okay, I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, bye, Raina. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
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 And I won't keep you guys too much longer either. I want to make sure that I, you know, respect your guys' time as well. So,
Leah, we ain't got nothing else to do, so you might as well just stop, okay? Like, we're all just here. We could be here for 4 hours and be fine.
Sell stuff on the market, guys. Do a porch pickup, start a side hustle. So that was another thing that she touched base on right now. If you know how to sew and you have a sewing machine, guys, those masks are going anywhere from $5 to $10 a mask right now. You can start your little side hustle, make little designs if you know how to do those things. I don't know how to sew for the life of me. I can't even do a stitch in my jeans. So I can't do that right now.
YouTube is your friend, guys. Like, there's so many people that are out there, like, that are sewers that are like, hey, you know, I YouTube, and they'll literally show you like the mask patterns. They're like, Joann's literally made a whole template for you. It's like a template for dummies. This is your template. This is what you need to set your sew. Like, even have like the sewing machine in the picture. This is what you set your sewer to, and you just do a straight line.
You guys can find probably a sewer on the marketplace right now too. I mean, honestly, maybe you can, maybe you can't. Maybe they're all taken up. But start a side hustle, guys. Start a side hustle. Think about it. If you get that idea, something pops up, definitely grasp it and take a hold of it and figure out what it is you can do to make more money right now. You guys, and the other thing is, reach out for help. If you need help, reach out and ask for it. I'm going to go back to the story that you guys may get tired of hearing me talk about, or at least maybe Luce and Jackie do, but Elisha, the widow with Elisha the prophet.
Well,
She was aware, guys, of her situation. She knew that she was in trouble. She had creditors knocking at her door. So what did she do? She went to somebody and she sought out counsel. Okay, she sought out advice. She said, I need help. I am aware of my situation right now and I need help. Okay, this group is help, number one, first and foremost. So it's great. We're thankful for that. There's other individuals in here that can help out as well. Okay, so ask for help. Somebody go to Proverbs 16:18 and read it to me.
it says a pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall.
There's many people that won't ask, guys, because they're prideful about their situation, because they don't want people to know what's going on in their life or their affairs or whatever. Or like I said last time, maybe it's just that you feel like you're a tower, but and you don't want to let other people know that you're not doing well. You have to reach out and ask for help. You have to say, hey, I need you. I need help. I need this. It's okay to ask for that. Okay. We have to let our pride down and ask. We each have different gifts, guys. We each have different things that we are able to offer. Some of us offer wisdom. Some of us offer encouragement. Some of us offer financial help, and that's okay. It doesn't make a difference what your gift is. We all have different gifts to be able to offer, okay? Jesus said, John 21:17, he said, if you love me, then feed my sheep.
Yes.
Okay? If you love me, then feed my sheep, guys. He's saying, please go and help my people. Please go and speak to my people. Please go and, give some money if you can to my people. Okay?
Give advice.
Yeah.
Counsel.
Yeah. Proverbs 11:14. Somebody read it for me.
A gossip betrays a confidence, but a truthful person keeps a secret.
But Proverbs 11:14.
Oh, you said 11:14.
I was like, that's a good one too, but.
Yeah. For lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors. I did 11:13. Sorry.
Say it one more time for me, Phoenix. Read it one more time.
For lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors.
Ooh, ooh. That one gives me chills. That one gives me chills, guys. Somebody read Proverbs 15:22. Now I'm just packing you full of food right now. Packing you.
Yeah, I should be writing this down. Let me.
You said 15:22?
15:22.
Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed.
Proverbs 24:6.
Surely you need guidance to wage war. The victory is won through many advisors.
Okay, 3 different confirmations for you guys right there. It is important to have a mastermind team. It is important to have people that you can go to for counsel, advice, for wisdom, for knowledge, for encouragement, for financial if you need it. Jackie, you about to have that baby there or what?
I know. I'm having a Braxton Hicks, and I've been having them since yesterday. So getting prepared.
As your counselor, let me tell you.
I know.
You guys, that's 3 confirmations there, okay? And know that you got some strong individual women around you, okay? You have it. We're here. We're a Zoom call away. I know we used to be like a not gonna
something.
Yeah, but now we're just a Zoom call away, okay? So take advantage of it, guys. There's a lot of wisdom and knowledge to be attained through these different women, okay? I think it was Jackie that posted up on one of her videos the other day, and she's right. Like sometimes when I give advice, I give it just straight on full, like here it is, it's black or white, and some people can take that and some people can't. Luce is very soft spoken and soft hearted, and you may need to go to her when you want it a little bit more easy, when you just want a little bit more comfort and you just want to be hugged or embraced. She has that comfort that she can offer to you. You know, I think Jackie's in between the two. I think she's learned from both myself and both Luce. Like, okay, she knows when she needs to be a little heavy-handed, and she knows when she needs to be soft. So she's learned that really, really comfortably, which is really nice too. So take advantage of that. And as we get to know, and as I get to know Phoenix and Amanda, I'm going to be able to say, okay, well, this is what you can go to these women for. This is what they're going to be able to attest to. And I can't wait to also say, Phoenix, go to Phoenix for this, go to Amanda for this. Do you know what I mean? Because you guys have something that you're able to offer right now as well.
Yep.
Okay. So some people call that a mastermind group. Some people call it wise counsel. Some people call it many advisors. Okay. Make sure you have it. You're only going to benefit from it. Getting around other individuals who can help you. Now, just to kind of close this up and make sure that we all understand what's the game plan, what we're doing. Okay. Phoenix, you got it, girl. You took yours and you're already running with it. So that's a good thing. Okay. Keep in mind, Phoenix, I don't know what your other situation looks like as far as your other bills. If you have other debt, it's not going to be as wise to put it all to the car note.
Yeah, I'm going to get with you in regards to that, because there is the student loan debt that I'm just avoiding like the plague.
Yep.
Because I got a PhD, so that number is really high.
Okay.
But if I can get that one down,
and you can. And you can.
I am going to get that number down. Not if. Okay. I am going to get that number down. So, okay. Yeah, I'm going to get with you in regards to that.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, it may be that, we need to kind of like split some of those things. I understand that you have a goal that you're like, boom, I want to get this done. And that's a good goal. And you really could. If you were just like, look, if that one's sitting there and the interest is low right now and your car interest is higher, great, let's knock it out. Yeah. And then what you're going to be able to do is take that extra money that you have and you're going to be able to start knocking out the second one. Okay. Yeah. And it can happen and it will happen. Jackie can attest to that. Okay. I can attest to that, guys. Luce, now she's with, I'm pretty sure she's with the program now. Like, I think she's got like, she told me too at one point, I think Luce, you said like, you kind of see where you're like playing the game too. Like, oh, nope, that's getting a little higher. Nope. I want to take this down. Yeah. Yeah, Luz, what you guys
sorry,
say?
I was on mute. So everything like that Leah and everybody's talking about, like, it's so true, I chose the hard route and I'm learning my lesson.
That's okay.
It's taken me a little bit more time, but I've also reaped the benefits. Like, I have 2 cars, one of them I own outright. I don't owe anything on it, it's mine. And that's like the best feeling. Like, It's crazy how, like, whenever I say like, that's my car, I even tell Frank, I'm like, that's my car. But it's crazy because even like getting into that car and like driving it, like, it sounds, I don't want to sound dumb, but you feel like a boss. Like, this is my car. Like, I don't owe nobody nothing on this.
There's nothing wrong in saying that. Like, I want you to get in that car and be like, yep, that's mine. I am a boss. Like, I paid that off. Like, you need to put that all over you, girl. Like, that's good because that sets your mentality in a different form too. You're putting it on, girl. You're putting it on, and that's okay. That's not only okay, I encourage that highly. Be that boss. It's okay. I'm learning to teach myself that even in this season. I think I've shared that with you, Jackie. I think I've shared that with you, or I don't know, but I'll tell you guys, and I'm going to be very, very vulnerable. I'm building a $500,000 home. Okay. And I at first was kind of like, I don't know who I want to share that with, and who's going to really be happy for me, and who's going to be like, ew, why is she doing that? You know what I mean? And I have had to get to the point myself to be proud of what I'm doing and be like, you know what? No, that's it. Like, and you know why also? Because I know that it's not me. I know that I'm this small. And when I say that I am this big in this whole scheme of things, that I've allowed God to direct my steps. And it's because of him and who he is that I am and have the wisdom and the knowledge to be able to work this game, to work this whole thing. You know what I mean? So I am myself and being like, yep, that's me. Like I put it on now. I'm like, nope, I'm going to be proud of it instead of shying back and being like, ew, I don't want to make them feel any kind of way. Cause that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing is like, I needed Leah to testify, like, cause I've seen her go from the Leah today from the Leah then. And so just to see her grow in so many different areas, especially in finances and just like her spending habits and everything like that, had encouraged me to and influenced me in a positive way to be able to get my together. You know what I mean? Like it does. And if you don't testify for it, then how would I ever know? You know what I mean? Like, and Leah had to be very vulnerable with me. And a lot of times where she was like, yeah, I was buying this, I was buying that, I was, you know, whatever, but this is what I've learned. And I think that she's the one who actually brought Dave Ramsey into the picture a long time ago. And I finally had to just set my mind to something that I was intentional about. And once I started paying off that debt and I got that little taste of freedom, because we're slaves to the lender. Like once you get that taste of freedom, it just triggers something within you where you're just like, I know what it feels to be free. Regardless if I still have debt, I still paid off the debt. You know what I mean? Like there is still a sense of freedom. I had to be kind to myself still, and not just, you know, be like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to pay off this debt. No, I was like, no, you know, celebrate your accomplishments, celebrate them. And that'll encourage you and fill you up to go on to the next until you're tackled completely. Like right now, just seeing her, you know, making her plans and saying, look, this is the house that we're going to build. I already have that in my mindset that I will have a house too. You know what I mean? Like I'm already having that in my mind. Like if God can bless Leah's hands, trust me, he can bless mine. You know what I mean? Like he is not a God of favoritism. He does not just, he's not. And it's just that if he's just looking for somebody who's willing, and that's it. And if you're willing, tap in, and guess what? He will bless your hands. Anything you put your hands to, he says it'll be blessed. And I have to constantly, not even constantly, it just comes up. If I think of a negative thought, it's like my spirit bangs with my flesh, and it'll put it down and tell him like, no, the word says, you know, the word says, God promised you, like, right. And you do find a sense of humbleness where you're like, you know what, I may be in this circumstance right now. I'm going to humble myself in this area, but I know God's working in the background. I know he has something greater for me than where I'm at right now. I just need to steward what I have. And then eventually over time, it's going to manifest in something greater and something bigger. So had I not had that,
important. That stewardship is so important, guys. That's biblical. We're going to talk about that in the next meeting. We're going to talk about giving in the next meeting. Okay. We need to add that into our budget, guys. We need to add giving into our budget. Okay. Because God says that he wants the best of what we have. He wants the best of what we have. Okay. Not the end part of what we have, not the scrapes. Now, keep it in mind right now is a tough situation. Okay. Some of us are just trying to have to stay afloat and things like that. But we also need to understand that he's waiting and he's willing. Okay. He's waiting and willing to bless us. And the woman who gave the most was the woman who had the least. Okay. And she was also blessed the most because of it. Yes. Not the rich guys that brought all their goods, and not the people that had all their money. Jesus looked at them and he saw them and he was like, all right, cool, they're giving. That's good. But it was the woman who came with nothing and said, here you go, this is all that I have. And she was blessed the most, guys. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to talk about, that's going to be the next part. So we talked about being aware. We need to know that situation. We need to get our budget together. We need to allot our dollars, guys. Every single dollar, we have got to tell it where to go. Because if it's floating, guess what? We're going to spend it. Okay. If it's sitting and it's right there, we're going to spend it. Okay. So if we're on a budget and we've allotted every single dollar, guess what? When you want to go to the Burger King, or you want to go get the $50 Disney thing, or you want to go to the Starbucks every single day, you're like, ooh, crap, that money's not there for me to spend. Okay. You're going to allot it. So we're going to talk about that as well. You guys, if you guys have any questions coming up, if you guys have anything that, you know, please get with me. I'll be more than happy to do a one-on-one Zoom. Or you can just, you know, message me privately and talk to me on Facebook that way. That's completely okay.
And what do I do with these envelopes when I get them? Like, they're going to be here tomorrow. So I'm like, and I ordered 100 of them. I ordered a pack for 100 pack for $10. And so I'm like,
first and foremost, the way that the envelopes work, if you guys have not used them or you guys are wanting to use them, The envelopes are going to be for one of two things: debt, okay, where we're going to allot our money, we're going to put our money in these envelopes, and when those things need to come along, we need to pay them, we take them out of there and we pay it. That's it, okay? That keeps us in a budget. That means that when that envelope is gone, there's no more money, okay?
So this is for budgeting. The envelopes are for
Well,
budgeting.
yes and no, but it's also for savings. Okay,
Oh.
because we've got to get out of the mentality of I can buy that right now just because I want it and I can put it on a credit card. Okay, instead of saying that, in Phoenix, you can be like, you know what? I know that I'm going to want that next bobblehead, or I know that I'm going to want that next Disney. You know, so it's $50. I have an envelope for that, and I'm telling you guys right now, it's going to feel so much more rewarding to you when you put money in that envelope, and when that time frame comes to get that thing that you want, you take it out of there and you pay for it without a credit card.
So do I
And
cash
can I
out
say,
my
I
whole
think it
check?
makes you,
Go ahead, Luz.
Oh, sorry.
I think also that process, like if I can say, because I didn't order the envelopes, but I made my own at home. And then I also like, because I'm a very like, write down, like I like to write down, highlight, color code. So I made my own thing. And one of the first things that I did when I made that binder was I anointed it and I laid hands on it. And I cried over that book and have said like, God help teach me to learn how to manage what you're giving me.
Yes.
And it's been more than once because like I've fallen down and I've scraped myself, and it's okay. Like we're gonna make mistakes. Like the chances, you know, starting from where we're at, and then the chances of us taking the credit card and being like, yeah, I'm buying myself Starbucks, whether, you know, regardless of what anybody says, like you go there, you do it, but it's a learning process. But where I was getting at is I think that when we have the envelopes and you have the hard cold cash in your hand, when you go to take that money out to buy Sephora, Ulta, Starbucks, it makes you think. Like you think about it like, ooh, like, do I really want to spend this $20 right now? You know what I mean? It makes you self-reflect and really like think about the heart, I think. And it checks your heart.
Yeah, that's good stuff, guys. I love that, Luz, and thank you for sharing that. And what Jackie said too was really important at one point, where she said just that, like you have to be able to let me see how I can word this. Yeah, being aware, guys. That's exactly what we're talking about. You have to be aware, and creating the budget, creating the amount, you know what I mean? Knowing what we have. Some of us go and spend $6.25 a day on Starbucks, okay? Guess what? That's $200 a month. Okay, $6.95 a day is $200 a month. Okay, and we don't even think about it. We just go out, we spend it. We're just like, oh, it's only $7. Oh, it's only $6. That's what I was talking about. We have to be aware in those areas, guys.
So do we, just real quick, so then I take out my paycheck in cash?
Yes and no. So if you have bills that are on your, like on your debit card, pay those with your credit, get it out of there as quickly as possible. So you pay.
Because I do everything online. So my mortgage comes out online, my HOA, like everything.
So all of that stays the same. You continue to pay those exactly. So put that amount, but anything extra comes out.
Okay.
Okay. All of the bills that you pay, you continue to pay the way you do. Anything extra comes out, that's what you're going to put into your envelopes. The fun thing about the envelopes, guys, is you get to decide, okay? Outside of debt, okay? You need to put your debt in there. But outside of debt, you guys get to create. So Joey has created car savings. He has created necessity things. He has created, there's an oops, I forgot of $100 because we're going to forget some things, okay?
Yeah.
I'll go through some of mine, and I'll go through some of Joey's that he has, so it can kind of spark like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. In that book, Total Money Makeover, at the very end of it, Dave Ramsey's book, it's a list of things that you probably wouldn't even think of, that you're like, oh yeah, I should have planned for that. School supplies, kids going to school, you know what I mean? Ooh, I didn't think about that. Kid activities, ooh, I didn't think about that. So we open up this whole array of things that we want to start allotting and putting our money towards, okay?
One thing that Josiah made sense, and I was just like, I don't know why we're so, like, we just don't think of these things, but he's like, if you really think about it, if you struggle making a birthday party for your kids, you could save $1 every single day and put it away for your kid and have that money saved up for when the birthday party comes. You're not struggling to try to round money up for that.
Christmas,
Baby showers, like
anything that you have coming up in the year is what you guys want to start thinking about, and that's where you want to start to allot those envelopes. Okay, so you're going to have your budget, you're going to have your normal, this is what I have to pay. Okay, you're going to have your debt. We're going to work through that debt and get that taken care of as much as we can. And then when we have extra, we're going to start to allot envelopes, and that's going to be what it is to you. Okay, what that looks like for me right now, I'm like allotting all kinds of money for my decor at my new house. I'm like, yep, I want to buy this couch. Yep, I want to.
Out with the old and in with the new.
That's right. Yeah. But I'm also selling all kinds of stuff on Facebook. If you guys need anything, hit me up.
I know, I seen that. I was like,
I'm on a budget. I'm on a budget.
Yeah. You guys are like, nope, never mind. I can't spend right now.
She can't get me.
No, you know what I saw, Leah? You know what I saw that I was like, oh, I want those. Your zebra chairs.
Oh, yeah.
The animal pictures. And then I was like, but where am I gonna put them? But they're pretty. I've always liked those chairs.
Anyway, all right, guys. So we spent. I keep trying to keep these meetings to like a, but it's good stuff too, you know. But I do respect your guys' time. At any point, if you ever have to go, I definitely understand. So that's the homework. You guys continue to work on the backlog homework that we were working on, manifestations, getting up, affirmations. That's super important to stay there, okay? Those two things. But pull up the everydollar.com, come up with your budget, get your bills together. Let me know if you have questions. That's the work that we're doing forward. Okay?
Okay.
All right, guys.
And if I have questions about the envelopes, then I will put you up.
Yes, any one-on-one questions you guys have, let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you guys out, okay?
Jackie, did you say it was 100 envelopes you got?
Yeah, I got, they're just plain white. They're like plain white envelopes.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna color them too, okay? So that way it can motivate me a little bit, get creative. But yeah, it was like $100 of them for $9.99. So I was like, let me just do that. But I think the ones that Leah got, those are reusable. It's not like you keep hold of them, right?
Yes and no.
I think they're labeled too.
Yeah, you can use pencil, and just like, you know, so some of my goals have changed. So you can use pencil and then just reuse them. And then on the inside, when you open them up, it has amounts, because you're going to need to put the amount that you're putting in there, the amount that you're saving for, the goal. And so that one has those areas to do that. Okay.
Oh, so on the front of those envelopes, it has specifics, like titles and stuff of what you fill out?
Right. You're going to put the name of what it is that you want. You're going to put the amount, your goal of what you want to put inside of that envelope.
Yeah.
And on the inside, it has plus and minus. So like plus, I'm going to put $100 here. That's going to start that, you know. And you put the date that you put it in. So it has those things. I'll show you guys on the next meeting. I'll have them ready to go, and I'll pull them out. Okay, or get with me, like I said, one-on-one. You guys, I want to just pray over us really quick, and I'm gonna let you guys go.
That's a good idea, guys. Did you hear that about Luz? She'd be like putting some good creative ideas out there. Like, she told me at one point, pray for your husband. I said, what? And she said, then pray on it, put your hands on it, anoint it, and put it on your pillow. And I was like, what? And it came true. And then she said, anoint and pray over your finance book. And she was anointed and pray over your finance book. Guess what? I'll be doing that too.
The very first thing in this whole lesson was seek God out, guys. We have to seek God out in everything we're doing. The very first thing that I said is that you guys need to ask him for his wisdom and his knowledge. And that's that. That's what it is inviting him into this part of our lives. We sometimes only invite him into little parts that, like, this is important to me, or when we're distraught, or when we're panicked, but we need to invite him into, he's like, he wants to be your friend, like even more so than any of us want to be. Like, he wants to be your ultimate friend,
your go-to, your number one.
Yes. So ladies, let's just go ahead and pray. Father God, I just thank you. I thank you for these attentive ears, Father God. I thank you for these women who are so willing, God, that are so willing and open to know you more intimately, to receive your wisdom and receive your knowledge, Father God. They have their hearts and their hands open to you, Lord. They say, give me more, Father God. I want to learn how to live in peace. I want to learn how to live with just financial freedom, God. And they're asking you to sit at their table with them, Father, that you would give them the wisdom and the knowledge that they need. Lord, fill them up this week. Lord, show them that you're ever so present within the situation that's going on, that you're still so present in their life right now, God. Continue to remind them. Send your angels to guard and protect them, Father God, wherever it is that they go, that they would have their spiritual masks on, their spiritual gloves on, Father God, that you are with them, that your blood is covering their door, Father God, that you would pass them and that no plague would ever touch their home, Lord. Let them continue to be filled up so that they can fill somebody else up, Father God. Lord, we thank you for this time. We ask that you continue to be with us throughout the rest of the day. Continue to fill us up. Continue to give your peace that surpasses all understanding, Father God, to us. Lord, we thank you and we praise you for being our friend, for being our comforter, our strength, our provider, our everything. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen. All right, ladies, you guys have a God-blessed rest of your Saturday.
Yes,
You
you
too.
too. Love you guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.